Rolling right along, Studewood Cobra Football 2013. I'm King Arthur Prather, now joined by the lovely and talented Mrs. Leandra Penrice, Senior Vice President, Coordinator, and whatever, Team Mom, and whatever you want to call it with the Studewood Cobras. First of all, welcome to our show, and we want to congratulate you on another fine season.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a fine season. I say we went to the Super Bowl finally, although we were undefeated or defeated. It was a joy to just see the kids just, oh God, run in such horrible weather and do as well as they actually, did.
Right, because it was buku cold out there. I'd be the first to admit that. Reminds me of how cold it was way back in the old days when James Cooper led the freshman team to a Super Bowl championship at TSU. Remember that one?
Oh, yes, I truly remember. We were talking about that on yesterday. That was a deal. Yes.
But for you and Walter, this has been a lifelong job, if you call it, a volunteer service you all have put into the Studewood Cobras. It's finally beginning to pay off now when you see so many young kids doing so well as a result of coming through the Studewood Cobras organization.
King, it has. We sit back and we look at Snub, we call him with LSU, and as well as he's doing, and we go back and we visit other schools to actually see what the Studewood Cobras has actually produced or actually helped as far as the kids, to make it through other colleges and become pros. It's just, it's overwhelming, totally overwhelming to see what we had. If we had a touch or anything, to put into it.
Help along the way. I know exactly what you're talking about because every time I see John Gibbs from Alcorn throw the football, I'm reminded of him starting throwing the football with the Studewood Cobras.
Yes, I do too. Every time I see Gibbs, and it's just overwhelming to see him come from this to this and do as well. We're so proud. We're so proud of the talent that come through the Cobras.
Year in and year out over the years, we know what it's like having bake sales. I imagine you've baked a few cakes over the years. But to have a corporate sponsor like Fiesta kind of step up to the plate and assist the Cobras a little bit more than 10 years ago now, that had to put a little pep in your step, so to speak.
King, we were overwhelmed. I remember once the game was over, we actually had to pass a hat around to actually take up funds to pay the referees. People don't really realize the funds that we have to put out at each game as far as paying the police officers, as far as paying, the staff is volunteer, but as far as putting out the food and stuff, Fiesta is just overwhelming. Words could never even say the help that we've gained. We used to actually do fundraisers. We were on the street doing fund drives. We don't have to do that anymore. This banquet is living proof of the funds and the help that Fiesta has had. We are totally indebted. The kids could never, ever express the help and the support. We are truly indebted to Fiesta. Thanks, the world.
Ms. Penrice, always a pleasure chatting with you, even though I know you don't really care for this sort of thing. but it's pleasant to talk to you one more time, and we certainly want to again congratulate you and your husband and all of the Studewood Cobras on another successful season.
Again, thank you and Fiesta, King, and all. Like you say, the King always delivers. And you have done that for us many years, and we truly are blessed to have you in our midst.
And we are truly blessed to be with the Studewood Cobras. We'll have more from 2013 Studewood Cobras Special Edition when we return in just a moment.